All right, it's ready now, Osiris. Okay. Welcome to Prestige Culture Dynamics, or or to be more simple, PCD. I just do that so it's much easier to remember. So yeah, I'm the co-host of this show, Ray, and my co-host next to me, Osiris. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Like I said before I started recording, like I said, this weight loss thing has been going great for me.
Bruh, I'm so happy for you. Proud of you, man. Just keep it up. I'm gonna try to do some stuff myself, lose some weight. I
Like I
got
said,
to.
I just want to when we go to Florida, I want to be able to take my shirt off on the beach. So yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, maybe they'll be allow me to get up to the women more. That's one of my main goals down there.
Yep. It's good for your long term health to
Yeah.
get a little bit, some of the honeys on the short term. It
Yeah.
helps the short term, the intermediate, and long term.
Yep. Yeah. I also talked to Carlos and I asked him like when I get down there, maybe he and Sal can teach me a little Spanish for the Hispanic ladies. And they said, no problem, man.
Yes, sir, man. You got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah. I want to. That's gonna be pretty fun. So yeah. Yeah.
Hablas inglés?
I literally I have not spoken anything Spanish since I was a little kid, literally,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember anything actually. Not even I don't even
Yeah.
remember how to say the numbers in Spanish. That
Mm-hmm.
literally that's just where it is. So yeah, but yeah, talking about Florida, that's what I want this entire conversation pretty much be about. And obviously, you see it says pythons in Florida. Well,
Mm-hmm.
alligators too, I should say. Basically, like what this channel is like where me and Osiris we're just gonna be talking about culture types of stuff, not just about like places about where you can live, different types of animals, wildlife, nature, all of that kind of stuff, all that kind of interesting stuff that falls under that bubble. Like we're actually gonna be trying to do this like maybe like once every week or once every 2 weeks, somewhere like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're just gonna be talking culture, like also maybe even talk about the ways some people live and how people can like improve the ways they live, like I'm doing right now, because like I said, I need to shed some of this off. So yeah, but
Lifestyle hacks.
but yeah, and like speaking of something similar to that, I was actually watching in one of Tim Pool's videos, and where he was, and also one of a couple of Joe Rogan's, where they were actually talking about little heavier set people, and like it actually that kind of does tie into culture a little bit too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, like like the Joe Rogan one I was watching was when he was talking about like when Adele lost a whole bunch of weight, and like she was attacked for doing that, which makes
Mhm.
no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, did she lose it naturally?
I
I'm
think
just
so, actually.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
props to her. I mean, she looks good. She still has the voice.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not a big Adele fan anyway, so but
uh, I
but yeah,
am. I'm a pretty big fan. I like her
yeah,
songs.
yeah. But to the people that are her fans, like that attacked her, wouldn't you want her to be a little healthier so that she can live a little longer and be able to perform longer as well?
Absolutely, man. Long-term life, perform better, feel better, think better, live better. She's going to be a better person for it. As long as she's doing it health. That's why I asked, did she do it on her own or did she, have some type of medical intervention? If she did it on her own, that's a lifestyle change.
Yeah, yeah, I think so at least. Like me, I'm doing mine on my own. I'm just doing intermediate fasting, like doing like one meal a day, but have it be like a 22-hour fast. So I have a two
Mm.
hour eating window. So yeah, but after the window, I can't eat anything. Like like I drink all water all throughout the day because you have to stay hydrated. There's no way for that. But like once the 2 hour window is over for like the day, I stop drinking the water too until like I wake up in the next morning, because like it helps keep your metabolism going when you're asleep. That's the main drive of it.
Yeah, on another episode, we should do I want a full detailed breakdown of what's working for you.
Oh yeah,
We should
no
do that on
problem.
another one. Yeah.
Maybe our next episode we can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, yeah. All right, let's get into what we wanted to talk about. Florida, that like not just the maybe not just pythons and alligators, but maybe talk about Florida as a whole. Because guess what? Everyone's moving there, and like I said, I'm considering it. I'm trying to talk you into it. And if but if you could decide to go officially, I'll go for 100% because Carlos, Sal, and Adam will be there, so we can all hang out all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Florida's an attractive place. So, people are moving out of certain areas like California, New York. A lot of them are going to Texas, Florida, and there's a reason for that. I mean, you've got the weather, you've got
Mhm.
the lifestyle. So I think a lot of people are liking it. The taxes are another thing too. But yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. A lot of people have been telling me that certain things in certain it's gotten a little more expensive in Florida over the
Hmm.
last 3 years. We won't say that why here, but it's gotten a little expensive. But I've been looking at like housing prices down there. Sure, there are some that are like 400, 500, 600K, even some that are even a little more. But
Hmm.
overall, there's still a lot of them that are just a little over 100K. Like available for a small family to just go in there and buy. Like in my opinion, I think that'd be a great idea. Like
Yeah.
me, I've been looking at apartments and houses down there. Like I live in an apartment right now. I don't know if like if I do go down there, I'll most likely get an apartment because my main goal is to get a house. So, but I still haven't figured out where I would get the house though. But yeah, but but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but not just, but and plus they have no state income tax, so you
Yep.
don't have to send 13% of your money, the money you make to the government.
A lot of people love that, man. So there's a lot of, see, people are weighing the pros and cons of their life, their lifestyle, their schools, everything that has to do with their everyday life. And it's looking attractive, man. You can't lie about it.
Yep, you can't lie about that. Literally, like the more like if I'm in a state where like I can like keep more of the money, the more the money that I earn, I'm more likely going to be there. Like here in Iowa, we have 8 point something percent state income tax, somewhere around that range. And our governor Kim Reynolds, she signed a bill that would lower that to three, I believe like a flat 3.9 or 4%, somewhere in that range. But won't happen for a few years though, because there's a lot of things that have to go into place for that to happen. But yeah, I like keeping more of my money wherever I'm going because things get very very expensive.
Yeah, things are getting tight. So people are trying to factor that in. The cost of living, depending on if you're trying to get a mortgage or not, is kind of tough now, though, with the interest rates going up. So people are the housing market's slowing down for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think the housing market is gonna shoot up even higher, or will we get to a point where it'll just go down, where
Uh,
everything will be dirt cheap, pretty much?
right now, it's very hard. Right now, interest rates are higher, so the housing market has hit a lull actually across
Mm.
the world, or especially in the U.S. in certain areas. So I think it's going to go down, but long term, it's going to bounce back up and keep going up. Property values are going to be very, very good investment long term.
And like yeah, I looked at some apartments down there in Tampa because that's where Carlos and Sal are.
Hmm.
Um, some of these apartments, they're they have like 3 4 bedrooms and they're like 680K, well, not that, 600 thousand, well, $680 a month to like 750 a month, and they have like 3 or 4 bedrooms and they have a pool in the building too. Like that is a nice
That's
win there. Like it's a little higher than me at the moment, but the pool, and plus you have a gym in there because these buildings, they have a gym in there as well. That's another plus for me.
Yeah, that's if you can find that, man, I'm telling you, people are going to be going out there if they can get an apartment for. I don't know where you found those at. Are you sure this is a safe area? Are you sure it's not a
Yeah,
swamp or something? Because that's
yeah,
excellent.
yeah. I can show you this after we get done recording this.
Okay.
So and these are real. They're in Tampa.
Mm,
Some of them are not even. Some of them are like on the edge of Tampa, so like close to suburbs, but they're not technically suburbs. So they're
mhm.
still in Tampa though. But it's still that's still a hell of a deal. Like that's
Great.
really great. Like
Yeah, a great deal.
Yeah, like I said, probably if I move down there, I'll probably be getting an apartment first, probably, and then I'll work my way up to getting the house because like that's my ultimate goal: get a house.
Yeah, I like the diversity down there too. I mean, you've got Venezuelans, you've got Cubans, you've got all kinds of different people down there. It's a very cultural environment. Somebody, actually, I heard Benny Johnson, I believe, was on with Tim Pool, and he was talking about how it's like a little Havana down there, like how Cuba would be if it wasn't under like a certain government. So I like diversity. So there's a lot there to be excited about to move down there.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to get into that, but I just don't mind. I don't mind that much. So yeah,
Yeah.
but like you also got like Asians, blacks, whites, like all of it down there. It's pretty much like a jungle, if you or I shouldn't say that. I should say like more like a. I shouldn't even say rainbow either. Like what's that? I forgot exactly what it is. Like I you know what. It's like, oh, here's a better analogy. Like basically when you're in the kitchen, you're putting all these different spices when you're cooking.
Mhm.
I should say that because that's pretty much what it is. Like whenever I cook like lasagna or goulash,
Mhm.
put all those secret spices. Like
Mhm.
I always put the spicy stuff, but I always put like the stuff that gives you a high right there. And whenever I'm cooking,
And
which
that's the impression I get from Florida. You mix everything up together, it's a good vibe.
yeah, and similar with Texas, it's working out pretty well there. So
Mhm.
they have a whole lot of different people, different races. I mean, not
Mhm.
nearly as much as Florida, because Florida, like literally, it's almost like a mixture of Mexico, Cuba, and Venezuela. I'm not talking about government wise. I'm talking about I'm talking about like nature and weather wise. That's just my view on it.
Yep. Yep. The only thing I don't like are the hurricanes. And some of the stuff we'll talk about here in a second that I don't think they're that serious of a threat, but the hurricanes, they're unpredictable. They're a little scary. I never lived in an area where you have to kind of, worry about boarding up your home.
Yeah. Well. Are you aware what happened in Iowa about a couple years ago? The derecho that happened.
No.
Oh my god, literally here in Iowa there was a derecho that was like it was just a whole bunch of wind that was like 120 something miles, maybe even higher,
Wow.
maybe up to 170 miles an hour, and like literally knocking 100-year-old trees down, like literally ripping them out of the ground, and like literally ripping houses off their foundations. Like I
Wow.
saw that. I literally saw out my window, like a giant, because there was 100-year-old tree across the
Mm.
street from me, got ripped out of the ground and fell down.
Whoa.
Like literally, it was like this, like the power of a hurricane, but it wasn't a hurricane. It
A
was just
derecho?
wind.
I never even heard of that in my life. A
I'm gonna see if
derecho.
I'm gonna see this. Let me
Wow.
find this right here.
Yeah.
Cedar Rapids, Iowa derecho. Like this,
Wow.
like right here. Gonna play the whole video, but I'll show
Yeah.
you what it is. So yeah,
Dang, a
yeah,
derecho's like a tornado, huh? Somewhat.
stronger than a tornado.
Wow.
So it's just nothing but wind.
Wow.
Right. This is just a normal day right here.
Yeah.
Right here. It gets much worse right here.
Man. And that's Iowa?
Yep.
Cedar Rapids. Wow.
I live just outside. I live in Cedar Rapids, right there, and
Mhm.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yep. It gets speeds up right here, right here. Look at this.
Woo.
Look at this.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, and this is in Iowa.
Wow. Because a tornado comes through and it's kind of like a narrow path for the most part, and then it just leaves quickly.
Yeah,
This is just woo.
yeah. Give it a second. You're gonna see right here. It speeds up even more. See? Give it a second. Right here.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's some serious powerful wind.
Yeah.
Wow.
and there was no and like literally this has never happened before in Iowa, at least not that I'm aware of.
I don't even remember that, man. That's
It was
wow.
scary. Like we were out of power for at least a couple for over a week. Yeah, and I didn't have Wi-Fi, and even when power got restored, I didn't have Wi-Fi for like almost a month.
Dang. Yeah. I'm so addicted to the internet, man. I would have went crazy.
Well, I literally went into work. The next, I was on my way to work when this was happening. When I realized there was no way I could get there because I was walking, I literally had to turn back. So, but but the next day the power was all out everywhere, and I went into work, and like everyone was working there, stocking everything, went in just complete darkness, and we had like one of those light things on our heads right there, and was just working complete darkness and just working. It was weird, man. It was some scary stuff. Like I've never seen it before. I don't know if I'll ever see that again.
In Iowa, I never heard of that. I've seen wind, I've seen storms, nothing like that though. Taking down like a whole evergreen tree or something like that, and like in one. Woo.
Yeah, you got to probably go look more into it. The Iowa derecho of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so literally 2020, man. Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like that with is it Hurricane Ian that's the one that's currently down there in Florida at the moment, or has it passed yet?
Yeah, it passed through went up through North Carolina, I believe.
Oh yeah. But I talked to Carlos and Sal, like they said like they barely missed it. Like they were in Tampa, and like it was just more southwest of it. Was it southeast of them, I believe? Because the way Florida's, it was southeast, southeast of Florida, but they were still out of power. At least Sal was, and Sal didn't even get back to me for a few days because he didn't have any Wi-Fi. That's why.
Wow. Yeah, but thankfully everybody's okay down there because woo.
But people died actually.
Yeah, did you see that it took all the water out of like the Tampa Bay, I believe?
Oh, yep. And also, it reshaped the because you know how Tampa and like not just in Tampa but all around Florida, they have these mini islands around like the coast. Like a lot of them got wiped away, or a lot of new ones were created with this.
That's man. So how does it work where it sucks the water out of the literal bay? Like we're talking about 20 feet of water just sucked out of there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe somehow with the plates, like some parts of land were just pushed up higher, or some were brought down lower. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I'm not an expert in that kind of airfield.
Man.
But yeah, like I wonder how I'm curious about this. What do fish and all the sea creatures do when a hurricane's going on? I'm curious about that.
I have to look that up. I've seen stuff where they say that they can tell before it happens, and a lot of them flee. They know they don't have brains, but I think they know there's a disaster coming. But yeah, they know there's a disaster coming, and then they start to kind of flee. But of course, a lot of them die. You can see the ecosystem change. I think we might touch on some of that when you see like fish go or whatever creature leave, then that leaves room for another creature to come in. But I think that's a lot of different stuff happen. It depends on the natural disaster.
Yeah. When they leave, how do they know their way back? Like that's it's like with a lot of animals when they migrate, how do they find their way back? Like that's something I never figured out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just natural instinct.
Yeah. You have an article right there?
This one is just on, I just quickly searched it, and it says, here's why Hurricane Ian, is sucking water out of Tampa Bay. Because that's exactly what I was asking. Like, look at that.
Wow.
Strong winds pushed water away from the shore of Tampa Bay on Wednesday, a phenomenon known as negative storm surge. Even as some parts of Florida's coast experience catastrophic surge in seawater over their shores, Hurricane Ian has pushed water out of Tampa Bay, leaving it less than a foot deep. So they said this happened with Irma in 2017 also. But the outward flow is referred to as reverse storm, it occurs when high speed winds push ocean water on shore, but in this case, the winds drain the bay instead of flooding it. It's like a vacuum.
Pretty much. This is some scary stuff. But like a lot of people in like Florida, they're actually used to this kind of stuff. Like whenever you like see whenever they know when a hurricane's coming because they know what the kind of wind it's going to be. They even before the radar catches it, or at least the formations of it, they can tell. Like once the water starts moving in a certain way, and once the sky looks a little different, they all that's when they all start booking out. Like, but especially except with the people that's really on the interstates, like they all get stuck in traffic there. Like it gets jammed on those interstates.
Yeah, that's dangerous when you're stuck there and you're not moving in traffic, and that's why some people actually, I mean, sit it out and stay there, and that's dangerous. That's why you have to see people, the Coast Guard rescuing people, but they said the water will eventually return, so we'll see.
Yeah, my cousin, like she and her kids, they got a hotel outside a little deeper in just so they could stay safe. My aunt, she and her husband, they left, but they went back to check on their dogs every now and then. But I think they're back now. At least I do believe that.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe power is mostly returning back already. I don't know for a fact if it 100% is, but it mostly is. You see, but yeah,
Good.
but yeah, hurricanes, man, those are no jokes right there. Not even a
Yeah.
little.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I congratulate all the people that are that like the Coast Guard or all the people there that are helping people like evacuate or rescuing them. I applaud them because like man, those guys are warriors.
Oh yeah, yeah, that absolutely, man. They risking their lives. I mean,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm speaking like a hurricane. I'm curious if someone's ever gone into the eye of one. I want to know what the eye of a hurricane looks like.
Yeah, there's some video out there. Those people who are those storm seekers. My
Yeah.
brother's really into that kind of stuff, and the eye, at least to my knowledge, is actually calm. Right? There's nothing going on like in the
Well,
middle of it.
well, a tornado eye is calm, so I would make sense for a hurricane eye to be calm too. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Well, what necessarily like causes like a whole bunch of water to just in turn like that, like a giant whirlpool, except on a much larger scale? What causes that?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at that. It's like the whole air pressure, wind, and all that. But it's weird to see all that chaos and the wind so fast, and the eye of the storm is just calm. It's just like that's. It's almost like I think it's sunny. There's no wind, and right outside of it is just pure chaos.
Yeah. I remember years ago. I forget. I don't remember which hurricane it was, but like it showed like the hurricane and like a boat's like on like in going in the rotation part, getting closer and closer to the eye.
Wow.
I don't know if they got into the eye or not, but it was scary, man. From what I saw of that, like yeah, this is when I was a kid though, so I don't know which
Mhm.
hurricane it was.
Yeah, I wonder if they have special drones or something like that to get in there now.
Possibly, who knows?
Hmm.
Like is it something to do with the plates or something? Who knows? Like I don't
Hmm.
know. Uh, like something has to happen for water to move in a certain way like that, especially on the giant wide open ocean. Like something
Hmm.
has to happen for that to occur.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
but but yeah, like I'm glad that that a lot of people are starting to return to their lives back down there. I'm glad at that. I pray for all the people that lost all their lives and their families and friends too. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird how the weather, like right after the storm, the weather gets like beautiful and great again, and there's all this damage and chaos in certain areas.
Yeah, and like here's something interesting though. In like California, people when it comes to the wet, they get delusional with the weather because it's always sunny and nice and beautiful there all the time. But like when you go to somewhere like Florida or Texas or even a wild coast like New York or Boston, like they actually submit to the weather. Like in California, they never submit to it, and it creates this like delusion
Mm,
perspective where you never have
mm.
to secede to it. So yeah, which
Wow.
is yeah, that's actually pretty interesting right here. Like in Iowa, we deal with the snow every year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm from Cleveland. You get the lake effect snow. It's no big deal. Yeah, I can see that now.
yeah, yeah. Do you deal with the snow in Colorado at all?
Yeah, it's actually not as bad as Cleveland because in Cleveland you're right on the lake, so you have this cooling effect, and then the snow. When the snow comes, you get dumped on. In Colorado, the snow comes, and they don't even have good snow removal here because it's sunny, and then the snow melts the next day. When you see all these pictures of Colorado looking crazy, I never knew this growing up. It's the mountains. Those are
Mm,
mountain areas. There's snow. I think we had snow this past week in certain mountain areas,
mm,
elevated up high, but not, obviously nowhere
yeah,
a
yeah,
mile high.
yeah. How long have you been in Colorado? Because you said you're from Cleveland.
Yeah, I've only been in Colorado since 2017.
What caused you to
Love
move
it
out
out here.
there?
Well, my wife got a job out here, so I'm from Cleveland. Met my wife in Ohio. We were boyfriend girlfriend at that time. She got a job in Minnesota, so I moved out to Minnesota with her, and then from Minnesota she got a job in Colorado. Moved out to Colorado with her, and before that I used to live in Michigan. So I lived in a couple of areas, mostly the Midwest though.
Yeah, same here. I've lived all around. Like places I've lived, I lived in Iowa almost my entire life, but I for like a few short months, even a year or two, I've lived outside. I've lived in outside of Iowa. I've lived in Nebraska, Illinois, Arkansas, Tennessee. Um, I believe that's all actually, but
Mm,
I believe it was just those states. But like literally, always came back to Iowa every time. So yeah.
hmm
But yeah, but me like me, Iowa will always be my home, no matter what. It's where I'm from. It's where everything my family is, all of that. But I'm not. But I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure if this is the place where I want to live the rest of my life. I'm just not sure of that because like I think there's like a lot more out there too. Like
hmm
like interesting stuff, like a lot of entertainment stuff too. Like Florida or Texas, I believe like those are entertainment places where stuff I'd like to be. But right now, I currently have Florida as the hierarchy of where I'm considering right now.
Yeah, if you get that feeling like, hey, where I'm at is cool, but I want to broaden my horizons, I think especially before you have a family, because it makes things a lot harder. You do what you can, when it makes sense. Don't do anything that will hurt you financially, all that, but
Mm.
take advantage of it and go do it. It gets harder as you get older, especially if you get a family.
Yeah, and probably should take advantage of it right now when things are like still relatively cheap in Florida right now,
Yep.
because it's just going to go up even higher
Oh, it's
with
only
more
going to
people
climb.
moving there.
Oh yeah, it's only going to go up.
Yeah, I believe like California and New York will lose their places as the top states, and Texas and Florida will take up that reign, in my view.
It's happening as we speak right now. I think I saw the stat. California shed about 370,000 citizens, residents in 2020 to 2021.
Yeah, and like New York, I believe lost like anywhere from 1 to 3% of their population in just last year.
Yep. Yep. So if you're going to spend a lot of money, why do it in New York? If it doesn't, now some people love New York. If you
Oh yeah.
love that lifestyle, then that's you. Do you. If you don't, then why pay the premium to be living there? If you don't have to be tied down there, go somewhere else. What I'm thinking too is a lot of people, Iowa, like you said, South Dakota, these other rural areas, depending on what your job is, you might be able to work online and live out in a rural area where, people are, they pretty much leave you alone. The lifestyle is kind of
Mm,
calm. The one thing is, it can be hard to get to, like in some of these rural areas, hospitals. Some hospitals might be, 40 miles from you or whatever, but it's something to think about.
yeah, like I actually liked New York back in the '90s and '80s. I like it back then, but like right now, I'm not a big fan of it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But like here's this like particularly in like Manhattan. I have no idea how anyone can live in Manhattan other than really wealthy people. Like it makes no sense. Like I would like Joey Diaz, who went on Joe Rogan's show a lot, who's one of his closest friends. he talked about that the area that he grew up in on 88th Street in Manhattan. Like he says, like which for like it was like $7,000 a month for a 1 bedroom. Like like and that's not even ridiculous. Like it gets even more ridiculous than that. Like I have no idea how anyone can live there right now. I no idea.
Yeah, and if you do have the wealth to be there, I just wonder if it's a good long-term investment. I just don't know if is the value. I don't know. Is the value going to stay? Definitely not for me. Even if I had the money, I would rather save that money and live in Iowa or obviously Florida, like we're talking, and save that money to do other stuff.
And like there's no houses in Manhattan other than they're not house. What are you remember in what's that kind of building in Full House where like they lived at? What's that kind of building called again? It's not a house, but it's something else. I don't know, but you know what I'm referring to. They have those in Manhattan, but like they're not really like kind of like house type of thing. They're like apartments, but you own the entire thing. So like it's weird. Like I don't know, that's not my kind of lifestyle. But hey, if that's your kind of lifestyle, go ahead. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, San Francisco provides the same type of stuff. I forget what they're called exactly, but yeah, it's when you have to cram a lot of people in a small area.
And yeah, and like like the weather in New York, like it gets, especially in Manhattan, in like Queens and Brooklyn, the snow gets down hard. Like Iowa, the snow here gets down hard, but but particularly like New York, it goes down way more than you think, way more, and it's ridiculous. Like, like I was just watching earlier today. I was watching Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, and just
that was the one with Trump, wasn't it?
Probably shouldn't say the name on this show,
but forget I said that.
Yeah,
when you said that, that's the first thing that came to mind.
But okay, I didn't. When I was younger, I didn't know that was him until like a few years ago. But yeah, and he actually owned that hotel when that movie was made. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, let's try to get off of that. So.
That's my bad.
Yeah, that's fine, man. but like, man, like, especially in like Central Park, like, it gets kind of scary in New York, even back in the 90s. Then overall, the city was fine, but like Central Park has always been kind of weird. Like literally, when you saw him get into the cab, and you saw that creepy dude. Like that was kind of scary. Yeah. Or like you see a whole bunch of homeless people living in Central Park. And like it's probably quadrupled now. So yeah, I don't know how anyone can deal with that. I just don't know.
Yeah, I think it's if you grew up with that, or it's a certain mindset. I actually don't mind it, but I just prefer a more suburban type of area. So
yeah, I prefer the suburbs as well. Like even Muhammad Ali, like when he was younger, we all know what he was like, but when he got older, he got more wise, and like he changed a lot of his ways too. And Ali to me is one of my all-time favorite athletes. One of my all-time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Between him and Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah. And like Ali, I don't care what anyone says, he's the greatest boxer of all time. Floyd Mayweather has nothing on him. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, no. Ali was the whole package, from the presentation to the preparation to the one-liners to the actual fighting to the toughness. Yeah. My goodness.
Move like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Man.
And he actually went out there and showed it that he meant what he said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the greatest jab in the game. His jab was just would just slowly just destroy those big heavyweights back then.
Yeah, like even between him and Foreman, in my view on that, were the great.
Foreman was a monster.
Like people actually feared Foreman.
Oh yeah, Foreman was like, he reminds me of like a bigger Tyson, back then. I mean, he was ripped. Yeah. But Ali was he had the long arms, and he would just go and just keep you at bay.
Yeah, and like when we saw that fight between Ali and Foreman, they were about the same height, because like when I was younger, I always thought like Foreman was way bigger. They were
Mhm.
about the same height, but Foreman was way buffer,
Yeah.
and managed to and Ali tired him out because he just grabbed a hold of him by the ropes throughout the fight, and that's how he was able to beat him.
Yeah, that was a tough strategy though for boxing. So Ali, you're talking about Rumble in the Jungle, basically, where Ali did the rope a dope and Foreman was hammering him, hammering him, and Ali let Foreman do it, and he blocked most of them, but he still, I mean, you're blocking it with your arm and your, your head, and then Foreman got tired, and then
Yeah.
Ali
Knocked
finished
him
him
out.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, and Foreman said like that the fact that he didn't hit him right when he was falling to the ground is why he's the greatest of all time.
Oh, really? I didn't remember that. Yeah.
Yep. Yep,
Mhm.
he said that. But like let's not get right off into that. Let's get back to like talking like the
Yeah.
culture. So we can talk
Yep.
more about that on my sports channel if you ever want to come
Yes.
on that.
Oh, for sure. For
But
sure.
yeah. That was like a lot of good games yesterday in my view. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you were talking about like you don't mind like the suburbs and like the
I
rural
like this.
other rural parts, like
Yes.
you actually would get an apartment if you had to, but you would try to get a house from what I understand.
Yes. But here's the thing. It's just a matter of what can you afford. It's cheaper very often to get a very unsafe. I lived in unsafe apartments in Cleveland that were very cheap. There wasn't any gate at the front, and people were wilding at night, and it wasn't that expensive. And that was the urban type of lifestyle. I lived in an apartment complex. I don't even know how many people were in there. I'm talking about thousands of people in this huge apartment complex. I actually didn't mind it that much, especially if that's what you can afford. But I would prefer a rural area where you can go fish,
Oh yeah,
or
that's my favorite thing to do.
yeah, you don't have the museums, you don't have the public transportation, but you've got people, if you can afford it, because you're going to have your own car probably, and you got to afford all the little luxuries that come with having a house. But there's an independence out there, and there's a difference. Like, I'm living like a sardine in this huge apartment in Euclid, Ohio. You literally feel like a sardine. You go to your balcony, you look out, you see all the hundreds of other apartments. That's not much different than New York in a way. But you go to the rural area and it's fresh air, and your neighbor's not really on top of you, and you can talk to them. See, it's weird. I was in the apartment complex with thousands of other people, and I only knew a couple other people. Go out to a rural area. There's a rural area I go and visit every year in Minnesota. Know all the people, everybody in the whole area. So it's just a different atmosphere.
Like there was this, there's this study with rats where they like had a few rats they were actually organized like humans did. They worked together and stuff like that. They actually was fine, but as they started to add more and more and more, they
Mm,
started like becoming more like humans. Where
mm,
they couldn't stand each other. Like they actually some of them even fought each other, or some of them
mm,
stayed in the corners. Like literally, like they acted just like humans. Like when you get a whole bunch of humans together,
yeah.
there's not a problem with having a lot of humans together. That's actually a good thing. But when you have like an overwhelmingly amount of them, like every single moment, it makes you go a little crazy there.
That's exactly what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like. And you have to have a certain mentality to prefer that over a better balance.
Hmm. But every like it's not really just really New York and New Jersey are like one of the same halves in my opinion. New Jersey is pretty much like a New York, but it's just a little smaller, and
Mhm.
the only difference is the attitudes that people have. In New York, at least back in the day, you couldn't talk to your parents back to your parents, because you'd get
Mhm.
your behind whooped.
Yeah.
But like in New Jersey, like if a lot of kids, they will literally go talk to the parents like say like your parent you brought their parents brought the kids some broccoli to eat for supper. There was a few other things, but broccoli was in there. They'd be like no, I don't want broccoli. And but like if you did that, a kid did that in New York, do you know what would happen to them? Oh my god. Like you can get away. Kids in New York can get away with that. I mean, New Jersey can get away with that, but not in New York. At least back then.
Yeah, it was a different time back then, man. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I do know there's pros and cons to both ways. So I think it's important to whatever, and 20 years from now, the next generation is going to raise their kids differently. There's always pros and cons.
Yeah, like Joey Diaz, he said that like if he did that with his when he was growing up in his house, he said like his mom would literally take the dish and throw it against the wall and say, "Now you ain't eating, go to bed."
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, you think about that the next time.
yeah, yeah. Did they now? Did he now? Would you deserve it? That's debatable. But
Mhm.
like it literally. But when you look at it, they would know not to do it again. So yeah.
Mhm.
Going to bed on an empty stomach is bad, but as a kid going to bed on an empty stomach, I oh
Yeah.
my god,
You don't
I
want.
don't even want to imagine what that was. Yeah,
Mhm.
because as a kid, there's no way I could have done that. No way.
Yep.
I would have gone insane. But well, yeah, but and a lot of these people in New York, they're actually going to Florida.
Oh yeah.
Some of them go to California, some of them go to Texas or Arizona or Nevada, but the vast majority of them go down to New York. And apparently, and a lot of New Yorkers don't like that because it's driving up the prices. Like and like, is it bad? Kind of bad, yeah. But like at the same time, that's called capitalism. That's just what the market is. You can't. Guess what? When you have better capitalism, you get higher profits and you get more wealth. And you guess what? You're going to get more developers wanting to go there because they're going to realize they can make more money. Or you have some realtors that are already there that they'll realize that they can just expand, and that's it's good for everyone.
Yeah, and you've got more jobs. It creates more jobs, all kinds of stuff, and from stores to your gig economy, from Uber to Uber Eats and all those type of things. The more people in an area like that, the better. And the thing I like about Florida is outside of the cities, it is, I think they have a good balance from what I've seen. I've been there a couple times, but and in different parts, a good balance of living, where it's not like you're on living on top of each other. So I think they pretty much do a good job of keeping things be spaced out. I think like I think yeah, the mic, yeah, I can't hear you on. Can you hear me? Can't hear you yet.
How about now?
Got you. Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's just going to keep happening. There's nothing I can do to stop that.
Yep. Well, we'll
Yeah,
just reset it when it does. But yeah.
yeah. What were you saying though? Right before the mic cut out.
Well, I like how Florida's spaced out pretty much outside of the cities, that you've got a good balance of where people live. And thinking about what you said about the rats, you think about, you have a cage or something like that, you put 20 rats in it, that's going to be a problem. You could put two in there, maybe they can coexist. So for me, the spacing, like where people live, matters, and the suburbs has the best balance of that for me. Even if you don't need a house, you can get apartments out, or out there where it's not like thousands upon thousands. There's maybe a few hundred units. It will be it will be expensive though.
Yeah, in Florida, if I do decide to go, I could only live in in the cities in there, maybe just the outskirts of the city, where at the edge, but literally in the city, because I got to have entertainment. The only place, if I do go down there, it'll be Tampa, almost guaranteed. But there's a very very slim chance of Miami. But I doubt it'll be Miami, but it'll most likely be Tampa, because that's where Carlos and Sal and Adam are, and be hanging out with them all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you decided to go down there to Florida, where would you go down there?
I like that area too. I definitely. You see, the thing is what could you afford? I would want to be in a suburban type area.
Yeah. Yeah. So hypothetically, if you could afford anywhere there in Florida, what area would you go to? Hypothetically.
I would have to scope it out. I would not go to Miami. I'm not a huge, I would be fine visiting Miami, but
Yeah.
I'm not a big, I wouldn't need to live there. Um, I think Fort Lauderdale is
Mm,
nice.
yeah.
Um, yeah, even Orlando. I mean, some areas out in that area in Orlando, but I like Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is the best place that I've been in Florida.
Yeah. I've only been to Florida once, and that was Tampa,
Hmm.
and that was years ago, and I really enjoyed it. Like literally, I forgot what the kind of like they literally have these little gas stations where like you actually drive into it, and like
Mm,
you just have these shelves where you like you're still in your car, but they have them right there. You just put your the money you want and just buy it and just take it like that, literally. And
hmm.
that's the kind of stuff I like. Like that was
Yeah.
and plus you're by Tampa Bay too, so you can go on a boat all the time.
Yeah. So it's different visiting a place and living there too. So I would have to kind of scope stuff out over there. But yeah, I like a lot of different areas out there. It's all obviously it's all water, all hot, humid. The Kennedy Space Center is out there. I'm very big on SpaceX and the space, all that. So there's a lot of nice beaches out there. I've been to a couple beaches out there that are really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Fort
When we go,
Myers.
oh yeah, yeah. When we go down there in January, I'm actually gonna be checking out some apartments and houses. I
Ah,
want to see, I want to check out the prices and the locations of some of these.
for sure.
Like
If you.
obviously, it won't be the next year or two.
Mhm.
It'll be like a few years before I could move out there anyway, because I would have to save that up. But and besides, I don't even know if I will go out there. I'm just really considering it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go out there, see how you feel. Make
Yeah.
sure it's the right decision. Just like anybody moving, there's a lot of people. I think some of the mistakes I made when I was younger is jumping into stuff without fully being prepared for it. So yeah, just make sure you're prepared and it's the right time and go for it.
And plus, I'm young too. I'm only
Yeah,
20. I'll be 21 when we go down there. But
yeah,
yeah. But part of the reason is I'm considering going out leaving Iowa is because it'll like I said it'll always be my home. But I don't know if this is the place where I want to live the rest of my life. That
yeah.
I'm actually someone that wants a lot of entertainment. I'm an old school guy, but I need to have entertainment. And like I believe Florida is that kind of place, or Texas too, but mostly Florida at the moment.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the sports aspect of this, but from just like what you said, it reminds me of LeBron James. LeBron James grew up in Cleveland, spent his whole time, his life in Cleveland. And you remember a while back before he went to Miami, he was talking about how he never went to college or whatever. He never got out of the Cleveland area, Akron, and he wanted to go somewhere. And then he didn't leave his home. He still has a home there. If you want to go back to Iowa, you always can. But I think LeBron was happy that he kind of stepped out of where his comfort zone was.
Yeah, yeah. He went to South Beach, where honestly he never should have left once you got there. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't have left. There's no way. Once I'm down, if I was down there in South Beach, there's no way you could convince me to go back to Cleveland. No way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he never sold his crib. So he always kept it. Then he has the place in LA too.
Yeah, yeah. Like he has houses all over, and like multiple states, not just Ohio, Florida,
Mm.
and LA, and in California. He has them
Hmm.
all over the country too.
Yeah. But to me, it's all about also you're factoring in so many different things, your lifestyle, what's going to fit you health wise, lifestyle wise, and then also potential. What do you want to do, as far as your life and what's going to be the right area to maximize your potential long term.
Yeah. And you just mentioned a little something about the like different areas. Like you obviously know we have an overweight problem in this country all over.
Hmm.
But and when you go down to Florida, like you do have overweight people, but not nearly as many when you look at
Yep.
it. Because guess what? People are there because there are beaches there, and people are more have better senses of what to do because they don't want to look like that when they go down to like the beaches or go out onto the water. They don't want to look like that.
You're absolutely right. I don't go to the beach very often, and in the winter, even in Colorado, where it's fairly nice compared to like Minnesota, where it's like negative, 5 every night, every day, basically, uh, they're out. They can go outside even when it gets chillier. It's not, it's not like it's snowing. So they get more exercise, more fresh air. And you're right. When you're going to go to the beach often, you're going to stay right. You got another level of motivation to stay right.
Yeah. And plus, like, and this is just my opinion, I actually think Florida is actually one of the best places to actually raise your family, in my view. Like places like Florida, Texas, Tennessee, or like Georgia, or maybe I don't know if you could throw West Virginia in there for obvious reasons, but I think you could like throw maybe a couple other states in there, because guess what? There's more of a family sense in there, and there's more like older traditional styles that are pushed down there, which I believe that's a plus in my view.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. You see, if that's where you are mentally, then where are you going to be more likely to find someone that's compatible with you? Not someone who's exactly like you, but at least you share the same values to start a family. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's actually something that's been driving me, my
Hmm.
opinion, to like consider it. It's like maybe I think Florida
Absolutely.
could be the best, but one of the best better place to have to raise a family, maybe even more than Iowa. I'm not saying Iowa's a bad place to raise a family, because it actually is a decent place too. But I'm like saying like all the weather and all that kind of stuff, like that plays a big role in it. Now, like it gets very hot and humid down there in Florida, but at least you're able to go out and go out all the more often, way more often.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and plus, like, if I did go down there, I'd probably go out because I'm changing my lifestyle. I'd probably go out and do a jog like a jog every morning then down there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, if you want to do that kind of stuff, then that's you got to factor that into where you live, because when winter comes out here, you're not really jogging every morning. I could be icy,
Oh
all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. Like the only people that really are out during the winter, at least all the time, are just the mailmen. That's it.
Yep. Yep.
Or UPS too.
Yep.
But down in Florida, you can just go out go jogging anytime you want. But now you got to be careful, because if you when you go around there jogging, you could get snatched by an alligator. So
You better learn how to wrestle those gators down there. You remember, did you see that video a while back? I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was Florida. I think it was Florida, where the guy trapped the gator in the garbage can.
I don't recall seeing that. So
Okay, there was a gator at this guy's crib, and he was so calm. It wasn't the hugest, but it wasn't a baby. And he was so calm. He just calmly walked up with a big trash can, laid it on the ground, and just had the gator crawl into it. Then put the top on and had him wrapped up.
like there was like I believe like 10 to 12 years ago, maybe 13, there were people that were just jogging around lakes in Florida just getting snatched by alligators.
Ooh,
People like eight people within 6 months got snatched just jogging near lakes. And like it makes you wonder, why are people jogging near the water?
yeah, it's for real. Like I've been to Florida about 5 times, and twice we saw just alligators in the wild. Just
Yeah.
like that's an alligator, and it's not a zoo.
Yeah. I'd be when I'm going jogging, I'm not going to be jogging near the water. Like
No, no.
like in Disneyland, and I still have no idea how this even happens. Like in Disneyland, well, is it Disney World in down there in Florida? I believe.
It's the world, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, like every year they just keep pulling alligators out of Disney World down there. It makes
Hmm.
no sense how they're even able to get in there. Like there was that one story of that like kid that kid who went into the animal pit accident. Well, I don't know if it was an animal pit, but just went into the water accidentally, and an alligator just snatched the kid up like in front of
Mm,
their parents. Like wow,
mm.
like that's a lawsuit right there already. So
Yeah. Yeah, those
yeah,
things are like walking They remind me of like dinosaurs, like that still exist,
they
with us.
well technically alligators, lizards, and birds are dinosaurs. Technically, they are.
Yep.
Yeah, and plus alligators and crocodiles, they haven't changed in the past 100 million years at all.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but like yeah, like how stupid does someone have to be jogging in Florida near a lake? Like if you see like an alligator down, could see an alligator right there, and you see it getting a little closer. Why aren't you just gonna book off? Like, yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a native down there, now you see there's a lot of people who have just moved down there. They might not know, they might not know, and you might get snatched up real quick.
Like one of my favorite alligator attacks in Florida was a guy who was running from the cops near Miami.
What?
He had a stolen car. He parked his car off on the bridge. He jumped off the bridge and landed on an alligator. The alligator jacked him in front of the cops. They were just sitting there going, well, there you go. Guilty. What are you going to do? You can't shoot the alligator because guess what? It's just living in its natural habitat.
I can't believe it. I'm laughing at you too. You're talking about what your favorite alligator attack was.
like, can you imagine you park your car on the bridge, you jump off the bridge thinking you're going to get away, then you just splash
on
like you're done. You think you're getting away. So
yeah, those things are. If you haven't watched alligators, like when they lock on to something, man, they're violent.
Especially when they roll too.
Yeah, they quickly shake and roll. That's their natural instinct. They're a lot of torque, very strong.
Like they can rip a limb off by just rolling.
Oh,
they don't. Yeah, it doesn't take like if they just got a hold of you and just pulled you a little, they can rip your limb off. But like if they're rolling, oh my god, it'll be like dark stuff, literally just ripping everything to shreds.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I told you on the phone on the other day, like there was a video of like people in either Australia or Africa, like they were filming an alligator. Well, no, it wasn't an alligator; it was a crocodile. They were in a boat. And they saw it pulling up to the boat with something in its mouth, and they didn't realize it at first, but it actually had a human body in its mouth. Like that's dark.
Woo! Man, you look at it and you're like, wait, there's something in its mouth, and you're like, what is that? You're like, is that a human?
Yeah, and like the way the crocodile was going up to the boat, it's like it was showing it off. Like here you go, biatch, look what I can do. That's what it was like. It was like it was showing it off.
I would heed that warning.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't respect alligators or crocodiles. Like no, people don't really there was there, it gets pretty weird when you look at that. Like they say like when it comes to like alligators and crocodiles, the thing you do is when you're trying to get away from them is to juke them because like the way their eyes are positioned, they're not meant to go like from like here to there that fast. They're not meant for that.
Yeah, you could see that would be that would be the smart way to go, and do not go in the water. You don't want to mess with them in the water. You want them on land, obviously.
But here's the thing, though. The alligators, like you think they're the dominant predator down there in Florida? They're on the python's menu, actually.
The pythons are no joke. Talk about those pythons.
Like the pythons eat the alligators whole, like 900,000-pound alligators. The pythons just eat them whole. Like literally, you would think the alligator would win that fight. No, the python they beat them and they swallow them whole. Like what they do is they just tire them out. So and it's and like they just choke them to unconscious and then just swallow them. And there's videos of this.
They choke them out. These pythons, they're an invasive species to my knowledge. They're becoming a problem in Florida.
Yeah, like because these idiots have released pythons in the Everglades, and like Joe Rogan said, we got a redneck Jurassic Park going on in the middle of Florida right now in the Everglades.
Yeah.
Like they're turning on alligators because they ran out of everything to eat. Like the Everglades, because the Everglades was not established for the pythons because before the pythons came there, you had alligators there, but you also had like skunks, deer, wolves. Marsh hares. Now they're gone. They're all gone. There's nothing left. Now it's just pythons, alligators, and anacondas. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I read that a lot of them were just pets. These
Yeah,
were
and
pets that people purchased and then they couldn't take care of, hurricane or whatever other reasons, and
yeah,
just let them
the,
out.
these idiots release pythons. So like they did like I forgot which study it was, but like they did like a quadrant of like of like the Everglades. Like they
Mhm.
measured each quadrant of how many pythons there was, and like there's like it's not 100% accurate unless they tag them, and and if they do that, they're idiots because they should kill them because they're an invasive species. But when you look at how big the Everglades are and how fast that pythons reproduce, there's no way you can put a dent in that. No way. Like
Nah.
like like now like you would think like some people there would be a lot of people that would have been killed, but it's not necessarily because I don't think that nearly that many people go in there, and plus I don't think they want to eat people because they don't even know what a person is. Like if they see like a
No.
skunk or a rabbit, they think that's food. That looks like food to them.
Hmm.
If they see a person with like clothes on, they don't even know what it is. So
No, they're scared of people, but if they will, if they need to defend themselves, they will.
But and these people, they're finding pythons in the Everglades for the like 17, 18, 20 foot long. Like it's skin.
Yep.
That's kind of stuff is scary.
Yep. So the ecosystem's out of balance. So I don't know what the predator for the pythons are, but now you need some of those in there. I don't know how the ecosystem rebalances itself because the pythons seem very comfortable right now.
Yeah, yeah. The alligators, they were comfortable beforehand until the pythons came around,
Hmm.
and like and now they're on the menu now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
people are chatting about it. I'm seeing a lot of chatter about it in Florida.
like there was this one story of like this python that ate this big you know what alligator, and it blew its body apart, and
Whoa.
apparently another alligator came along and tried to eat the python while it still had the other alligator in its mouth. So it turned into this like disaster of the situation. So yeah,
It's
like
like a zoo down there. I mean, it's like the Amazon or something. That's crazy.
it's a redneck Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how anyone can go down there. Pretty much yeah, like is it possible that some like rednecks have disappeared down there? It's possible, but who
Hmm.
knows? I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that it possibly could have been like, but man, but pythons they do jack people overseas though. Like there's these horrific videos of people getting cut out of giant snakes. It's scary stuff. Like there, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, and like these things are like 18, 20 foot long, and like
Huge.
there's a theory about the giant python which got up to like 30 foot. A theory of that. Well, what? No, not 30 foot, 100 foot actually,
A
and somewhere in
100 foot.
somewhere in the Amazon, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah, and there was also this one video of this like 33 foot long anaconda they found that was eating dogs in the down there, like yeah. I'm gonna try to see if I can find that video actually because it's pretty scary stuff. You wouldn't believe this. Largest snake. I'm trying to find this video right
Yeah,
here.
let me see this. Man, some of these videos you watch are they're so wild. You look at it, it almost doesn't look real. You
Yeah, give me
know?
one.
Yeah, yeah, go
Uh,
ahead while you're doing that.
yeah. Uh,
You've got the snake, you've got the alligators, and then you had the shark on the I don't know if you saw that. There was a shark out there too after the hurricane.
oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. You got to see this, man.
Yeah,
You've
let's
got
see
to.
this.
Oh, I'm bringing this up right here. Oh my god. Holy sh! Look at that.
What is that?
Weighing 400
That
kilograms,
can't be real.
found after an explosion was carried out in the cave of Altamira. A
Oh,
video, which was recorded by the construction worker, shows the snake's giant body that
Oh
will
my
remind you of the
gosh.
movie Anaconda,
oh,
starring Jennifer
oh
Lopez
god.
and John Voight. The
Got him.
snake's body measures 1 meter in diameter. The workers
That's
chained
not
the
real.
anaconda to a crane
real.
and later lifted it
There's
up to
no
show
way.
onlookers its yellow spotted
There's
underbelly.
no way.
That's
However,
real.
it's unclear whether they killed the anaconda or not. Meanwhile, the footage showing the chained snake received criticism on video sharing platform YouTube. Several users slammed the workers for killing the snake. Why on God's earth have these men killed this poor, beautiful creature? This makes me furious. We
Why is
just
it
don't
so
deserve to be
big?
on this planet, one user commented on YouTube. At the present, the longest snake mentioned in the Guinness Book of World Records is Medusa, a snake in Kansas City, which measures 25 feet, 2 inches long.
Wow. So
Uh,
wow. Can you imagine, like, can you imagine you just walking in the middle and walking in the woods in one day, and you just see and you just see that thing staring at you?
I would,
Like,
yeah.
I'd book it.
Mhm.
Like if you ever look into the eyes of a snake, you can realize like this thing doesn't give a crap about you. Like
Oh no.
it has no emotions whatsoever. Like it's like if it sees you, it's gonna kill you.
Yeah,
That,
I've
that
been out hiking and I've heard a rattlesnake before.
yeah.
So if you can hear it, then you're in danger.
Yeah, like that's one of the things about Arizona that scares me a little bit. Rattlesnakes, scorpions, and even armadillos too. Like
Mhm.
not because armadillos are threatening to human life, but because they're just weird animals.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are strange.
yeah, they just look weird. Armadillos. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've never seen one in person before.
Outside
Uh,
of a zoo, I've never seen one. But my wife the other day saw a porcupine.
wow,
I'm like,
probably
what? In the
in,
wild.
in Colorado.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
she probably make sure she didn't get close.
Yeah, I think she stayed away because I believe they can shoot their quills. So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, and speaking of Florida, I believe anacondas,
Mm.
are they're the things that they dig tunnels under the houses and stuff like that, which disrupt foundations and literally like it's such an epidemic out there in Florida. Like people when it's law that if you see one, you have to kill it. Like
Really?
yeah, like people out there, like you see, like in Florida, like people when they find an anaconda in their yard,
Mm.
they kill it and they just and they barbecue or rotisserie it in their backyard, like
Really?
it's like chicken wings. They eat it like chicken wings.
Oh my gosh. I'm good on that.
Yeah, I don't I don't know if I'll do that, but yeah, I do want to go alligator or python hunting in Florida eventually sometime.
Hmm.
I want to
Oh
try
yeah.
that.
I wouldn't mind. I would want to go with a professional. Teach me
Yeah.
the ropes. Let's do it.
Yeah, I've eaten alligator before, but I want to go like alligator hunting or sometime. My
Hmm.
uncle he wants to try that too, or python hunting.
Python hunting, I'm probably cool on, but
Well, well,
alligator,
well. They pay you money to kill pythons in Florida.
yeah, because it's so bad. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised because it's so bad.
Yeah,
I could see that.
like if you kill enough of them, you could like pay get enough money to just pay for the rest for your entire trip, so to get back. Literally,
I'm good. I'm not risking it, man. I can't mess with snakes like that.
yeah. Like here's like Joe Rogan mentioned this, and I actually agree with him on this. Like the day that we officially know that someone gets killed by a python in Florida, the day that a human gets jacked,
Hmm.
we should send in the Marines down there into the Everglades and have them like go through the swamp, like to have a wall of humans and kill all those serpents. Just they're the enemy and just kill them because they're in the Bible anyway. Snakes are mentioned in the Bible.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They're a symbol throughout many different cultures of, it's always been a negative connotation of deceit, evil, shadiness, untrustworthiness type of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if they should have killed that python right there, that anaconda, that 33-foot long. But like, man, if I saw that right
What are you
next
gonna
to me,
do with
I
them?
don't, I would have a heart attack. I would faint.
Yeah, I think if you could have put that in a zoo somewhere, that would be kind of cool. That'd be a hell of an attraction. But
How's the zoo supposed to take care of something that big though?
yeah, if the zoo can't take care of it, then you're gonna have to kill that. I mean, what are you gonna do? Let that thing just live to just devour a city or something? That thing looked like a monster.
Yeah,
You can't let that thing just live. I mean, this is nature. People get on my nerves a little bit with this. Like, oh, why'd you do that? Why, like, did they think that through? Like, how is it safe to let that monster live? Like,
yeah,
it would devour animals, people. This is nature. The law. We are on the top of the food chain. I don't want to unnecessarily unlive anything, but we are head honchos. If we
yeah.
want it to go, we say it goes. So I'm fine with that.
And and Joe Rogan talked about it. And this is actually one of my favorite videos that he did, talking about pythons and alligators. Like, this is actually a really interesting video too that he did. It's nothing outside of it. He's just talking about the species right here. Like, this is actually one of my favorite videos. Second.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
There's too many of them. It's amazing they're still alive, isn't it?
There's so many of them.
When you see one, how fucking ancient they look.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs. They're legit dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah, and they're all over the place. We were talking the other day about Disneyland in Florida, that over the last few years they've pulled hundreds of alligators out of Disney World.
Well, dude, that girl got eaten.
Yeah, a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine your 2-year-old. You remember what it was like when your kids were 2? Like, you love them so much. You're so protective of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so vulnerable, and the
see
guilt
them
that you
getting
would
killed
feel.
by an alligator.
Yeah,
That's great.
there's a fucking lawsuit.
Oh God, I'm sure, but they probably just paid them off. I mean, Disneyland's just printing money, or Disney World.
Yeah,
Disneyland's been shut down for a fucking year.
Is that the one in California?
Yeah, they're open again now, but they were trying to sue to try to get open again. You know, they had the strictest laws in California.
Okay, probably shouldn't mention that on this channel, but yeah.
Mhm.
I'll try to get to it.
Decide that's an exotic, and we don't want it. It's
We're
just
right here.
It's underway with a new $10,000 prize. Yeah, they're trying to. What they really should do is, first of all, California, which is so fucking dumb, you can't buy python goods.
Why?
Because they're assholes. They've just decided that's an exotic, and we don't want it. It's just political. It's completely. It's all about optics.
Right.
Like the idea that you're gonna have these exotics. Like, why is it okay to have like lamb skin or sheep skin? Why is that okay?
Yeah.
Why is it okay to have Uggs with sheepskin inside of them? That's okay. It's okay to have a leather jacket. It's not okay to have a cunty python.
Yeah.
Like, what the
That's
fuck
crazy.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
There's no logic to it at all.
Mm.
You can't have pythons. And meanwhile, what they should do is make it available everywhere and make it so that it's commercially fishable, that you can go, or huntable. You can go out there and collect these fucking pythons. If it's very valuable, they'll at least be able to put a dent. The problem is it's all swamps, so they can't even find them.
They're never gonna put a dent. That shit is ship is sailed.
Look at this. 185-pound Burmese python captured in Naples. Might be the heaviest in Florida history. How big?
I think it might have been 16 feet.
Damn.
And they also got this was a female. They got a male that was 140 with it.
I saw one. There's one somewhere that how big do those fucking things get? Like, what's the biggest python? I was looking at something on the internet, and I was like, "Is this real?" Because it was said they found a 30-foot python.
That's the same one that we just.
And it was eating dogs.
Oh yeah.
They get that big?
Well, it ate a fucking alligator.
According to this, longest in Florida, 18.9 feet.
Wow.
What about longest in I think this was in
Indonesia?
some South Pacific, somewhere in Asia.
Well,
it's all
that's-
pets. Too.
185 pounds is big enough to eat a 150-pound man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll swallow you whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing they have in Florida that's everywhere is iguanas.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I went down a YouTube rabbit hole the other day where people hunt and cook iguanas in their backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, because people who live on canals, they live near canals, they get like a bow fishing setup, and they're out there shooting and killing iguanas, and they turn them into chicken wings. Wow. Yeah, they whack their legs off, and they fry them. They fry them up, and they batter them, and they make like these. It looks delicious, like these Asian dishes.
This might be
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
it. That's the one.
So 33 feet.
33 feet.
Holy shit.
That's exactly the one. Where was that?
It says it was, excuse me, in Brazil.
Brazil. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That doesn't look
The
real.
size of that thing. Holy shit. All right, you can't fake that. Right?
What does that thing eat?
Dogs. That's what they were saying. Giant snake found in Brazil. 10 meters. Oh my God. Look how fat that thing is. That is so crazy that's a real creature that lives alongside us. Imagine if you're just fucking hiking and you see a 30-foot snake staring you down. I mean, that is so big.
Wait, that's an anaconda. Is a python and anaconda the same
No,
thing?
different. 33-foot anaconda.
Yeah.
Well, that was that fucking movie with Jennifer Lopez. Remember? anaconda,
Mm-hmm.
where they were even bigger? Because they think that there used to be giant anacondas in the Amazon that were even bigger than that. Like, what is the biggest? Like, the myth of the giant anaconda is something that's apparently it's in dispute whether or not they're real things.
I was trying to find the biggest python, which I did see. It does say a reticulated python can grow up to 30 feet.
But anacondas, I believe, are bigger.
I typed in biggest snake, and that's how I got that, which was anaconda.
I think they think that at one point in time, anacondas would get to 100 feet long. Like, it's all myth. It's hard to tell what's horseshit or not. But there's like photos of ones that people took from planes where you see this thing that looks like a
most of those are
pole, but 100-foot long telephone pole, making its way through the water, like that big.
Wow. Shit.
I don't know if it's real though.
Dude, the alligators get fucking big in Florida too. My mom lives down there and she plays golf. And there's a pond that has fucking alligators in it, like
on the golf course.
On the golf course, they just wander around. And so she was standing on the edge of the pond one day. Her ball is near the edge, and for some reason, she decides to play it, not kick it out in the fairway. She plays it from the edge. She takes the club back, and she loses her balance, and she fucking falls in the water over her head, goes under, and then goes to get out of the water, and she's like pulling herself up, but it's a muddy slope and she can't get out. She's like fucking flailing on the side, and somebody helps her out, and she got out of the water. And I mean, she was so scared that when she got out, she started laughing, and she was laying on the side of the pond fucking laughing for like 2 minutes. My mom's like 5'2".
Oh my
She's
God.
78 years old.
Oh my God. Imagine if that's how she went out.
Yeah.
Golfing near a pond.
Getting spun around in circles by an alligator in the middle of the water. What's the worst animal to die at the hands of? If you had to
snakes,
choose?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Probably hyenas.
Yeah.
Wolves, hyenas, because they eat your guts first.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, if you see hyena videos, they're pulling like gazelles. They pull their guts out. They're eating them guts first. Coyotes do that too. They eat your asshole first.
Oh wow,
Ooh.
the asshole.
Yeah, a friend of mine who's a wildlife biologist was telling me about. There was a girl who got killed in Canada a few years back by coyotes, and the particular area where she was in, she was a really a petite girl, and she apparently was a very talented singer. She was a talented like folk singer, or I think that's what it was. I think she was a folk singer, and she was just going for a walk. Yeah. And she got killed by coyotes, which is super, super rare.
Yeah.
But he was saying that is one of the worst ways to go because they try to kill you asshole first. Her death is the only known fatal coyote attack on an adult, as well as the only known fatal coyote attack on a human ever confirmed in Canada. Wow. She was 19 years old in Nova Scotia. It's fucking crazy. Catch new episode.
Okay. All right. But man, like I think snakes are worse than coyotes because the coyotes, they eat your behind first, and that's a horrible way to go out. But like a snake swallows you whole, and you're in it the entire time, and the acids are just digesting you all like that. Man.
Yeah, and they choke you out. They suffocate you. You know, they try to squeeze you out.
Yeah, just the idea just seeing videos of people getting cut out of snakes, man, that's scary stuff right there. So, yeah, I don't even want to imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap this video. We'll wrap the first episode up right here. This has been a great episode, Osiris. Like, I think this is a good idea to like talk more about culture instead of the other stuff that we're talking about with the show. Like,
absolutely, feels good. Yeah, be balanced and
more interesting. A lot of interesting too,
for sure.
Yeah. All right. When you guys see this, it'll be well, technically it'll be on Monday, which it's already Monday technically, but at 9 a.m. But like when we first started when we first started this, it was still Sunday here. Well tomorrow's Tuesday. My mistake. You guys will see this on Tuesday. Technically we started this when it was Monday here for me, and like but you guys will see it here on Tuesday because like this episode is gonna be pre-recorded. Like once we're able to do live stream, we'll move over to that because like that's the better way in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week for the next episode of the PCD podcast, or the Prestige Culture Dynamics podcast. All right. These are your hosts from this show, Ray and Osiris. Catch you guys later.